shoes. Morning there, Shawts fans. So I was getting ready this morning and I realised there's so many things that I can't really live without as a professional bike rider, and that you shouldn't have to live without either. So here's my tips and tricks and things of what you should not forget and essentials. So imagine this. It shouldn't be too hard for you to imagine, because YouTube Studio tells me that my audience is a slightly older audience from the UK. So imagine you've had a midlife crisis, you know, things are going pretty well, kids have left, you've got a bit of a disposable income, and instead of buying a Porsche or a Rolex, you've decided you want to shave your legs and spend your weekends with other men. That's fine, you know, we don't judge here. Let's move on to the things that I can't live without, and let's start and get the childish one out of the way. Chamois cream. As a pro rider, I cannot live without this. Have you finished laughing? Yeah, I'm a fully grown man and I apply this to my delicate parts as part of what I do for a living. Happy? Finished? We'll crack on. Most bike shops sell it. This is the Athlete Performance range from Muck-Off. This is what we get supplied. This is what we use. I'm not saying it's going to work for you, so go into your bike shop, get some samples. Also, put the samples in your saddlebag, because there's nothing worse than going out on a Sunday morning, having forgotten some and feeling sorer than Bonnie Blue. So keep some in the saddlebag. Number one, chamois cream. It's also, it smells like cream, but it's also got a mild antiseptic to it. Get some. Right then folks, second thing you're gonna need. Fortunately, these are expensive, but you can't live without them. Get yourself a quality set of cycling shorts. These ones are from Rafa. They are what they are, slightly different pair, slightly different fit. You need to go try some on. Don't skimp on these, skimp on everything else. You know, your feet can get a little bit warm, your hands can get a little bit warm, you can deal with it slightly, but you cannot, honestly, you cannot ride without a quality chamois, because it's a sensitive area. I've ridden Roubaix and my hands just bled. I'll show some pictures. It was ridiculous, but you can survive. You can't survive if your bum's bleeding. It's a horrible experience. So get yourself some quality shorts. Again, Rafa suppliers with kit, so go check them out, but find what works for you, get a few pairs, wash them properly as per the manufacturer's instructions. And I was told that if you dry them in sunlight, supposedly that kills any bacteria. So yeah, two sets of shorts here with identical chamois, slightly different cuts, slightly different fits, but the chamois is the same. So yeah, quality set of cycling shorts is something I cannot live without, and I think it's pretty much the same for every rider. So folks, you've had your midlife crisis, you've bought your bike, you didn't buy the Porsche or the Rolex, and the thought of a motorbike was way too scary. So what have you bought? You've bought yourself a nice Cannondale. Good for you. You're riding it, you've got your comfy shorts, you've got your chamois cream, you decided it's middle of summer and you're gonna start wanting to ride to work. And you realise you've driven the same Saab, the same way to the same primary school to teach the same geography lesson because you're a weirdo. But that's fine, because you're going to need a GPS of sorts, this kind of thing. Strava, Komoot, whatever you want to call it. They're great apps for when you don't know where you're going. Okay, you can log your rides, you can talk to your friends on it, blah, 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 give each other kudos or whatever you want to do, that's up to you. One of the great things is you can take other people's rides and you can plan new routes and you can learn where you're going in places you probably wouldn't know where you were going. So cheap subscriptions, something like Strava or Komoot or other ones are available. I don't think we're sponsored by any one in particular, but if you want to follow the Cycling Shorts Club on Strava, please do, or follow me personally. All my stuff goes on there. And basically, like, I can see the National Champs Road Race from the boys at the weekend. What else can I see? I can see who's doing what training. I can see Matt Bottrell did 36K in 1 hour, 29 minutes this morning. What was it this morning? Oh yeah, he did it yesterday. He left at 6:42, so he's out nice and early. It's not a midlife crisis for Matt. He's been doing it his whole life. He's just having a whole life crisis. Afternoon weight training from Jack Reese, 10 minutes. I'm sure that was worth it. But it gives you a rundown, gives you loads of information about yourself, about your ride, varying other things. So subscribe to one of them, get stuck in, join the clubs, learn the roads, learn the people, whatever. But don't get lost, and it'll help you find your way to work, to wherever you want to go on a weekend. a subscription app. So you've got your Cannondale, you've got your fancy wheels, you've got your chamois cream, you've got your shorts, and you know where you're going. You're gonna need some food. You're a weekend warrior, you probably don't need to consume 90 grams of carbs to sprint for the town sign. But for goodness sake, just take some food, because when you first have that bonk, it's pretty horrendous. It's an experience you'll never forget, and it's one you'll learn to love, because it won't be the first time, probably won't be the last time. But take some food, don't bonk. Today, got 4 hours on the cards, and I'm taking, well, how much, how many grams of carbs are we taking today? 30, 60, 90, 120, oops, 150, 180, 210, 240, 250, 260, 270 grams of carbs for a 4-hour ride. Looks something like that. Oh no, we're not, we're having even more. Plus 60 again. What did I say? 240. It's about 300 grams an hour, 300 grams for a 4-hour ride. You don't need to consume that. That's a little bit excessive for a weekend punt, especially if you're gonna have your bacon butty and your slab of carrot cake at the calf. Take some food. Doesn't necessarily have to be sports performance stuff. Just take something. If you put jam in a wrap, whatever, but just don't bonk, for goodness sake, because it's a horrible experience. So then, folks, you've had your midlife crisis. You didn't buy the Porsche, you didn't buy the Rolex, and the motorbike was too scary, so you bought yourself a Cannondale. Let's go find mine. So let's go head to the garage for the next bit of the vlog. So folks, you've done it. You've bought yourself a lovely Cannondale, like this one, or this one, if you're a tri-antelope. And you're gonna need a few things to maintain that. You're gonna need some tools. Minimum you're gonna need is a quality set of Allen keys. So I've had this for years. This set, it's got a set of Torx bits on the other side as well. But this is my toolbox. I'm not saying you need a toolbox like this one, it's a bit excessive. This is 10 plus years of collecting paraphernalia and clobber. Never ever use these. These things are absolute waste of time. There's just heaps and heaps of stuff. But get yourself a quality set of Allen keys. You can see here, bit of a build-up of an assortment of Allen keys from over the years. That'll do you some good. And then this is my homemade bearing press. You probably don't need one of them. Probably don't need anything out of there. Probably don't need anything out of there either. Get yourself a quality screwdriver. That's really handy for when the gears are clicking. A bit of fine tunage with that. Get yourself some tools. You don't need to go hell for leather. If there's anything more than basic what Allen keys can't sort, just take it to the bike shop, sort it. Honestly, I promise you, it's not worth sorting yourself out, because you're just gonna make a mess and you'll make things worse. Especially if you don't know what you're doing, which leads me to my next point, knowledge. So you're gonna need to learn how to use these tools, because it's gonna be inevitable. You're gonna go out on a Sunday morning, your bike's gonna fall apart, it's gonna break, and you're gonna have to call your wife to come and pick you up. And you're gonna find out that she didn't go back to Cirrus after the Christmas do, that she's been sleeping with Dave from accounts, because when Dave had a midlife crisis, he bought the Porsche. So the lesson here, if you're gonna have a midlife crisis, buy a Porsche. Right then folks, that's the end of the video of things I can't live without. So if you have liked it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Play the algorithm, get in the comments. Let us know what you want to see next, or let us know the 5 things you can't live without. Is there any bonus? There is a bonus one, a good rain cape. This Rafa one here, like I said earlier, you can have sore hands, you can have sore feet, that's bearable, but a sore bum and being a victim to the rain are the 2 worst things in cycling. The 3rd worst thing is puncturing and not having a spare tube, or your spare tube wasn't as spare as you thought. That's also annoying. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm off now. I'm gonna get back to work, because surprisingly this isn't my day job. Riding the bike apparently is, which is terrifying. Enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, and go donate to Amy, who's currently riding every stage of the Tour de France and the transfers at Amy Cycling Adventures. So let's blow that way out of proportion, because she's trying to do a good thing for charity. Enjoy.